What is up, crypto hackers? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack cryptocurrency and blockchain and NFT education. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I've been doing this series called What's Happening in NFTs. Now, I cover a lot of things on the channel around the game theory of different projects, tokenomics, all that fun stuff around crypto projects, DeFi projects, all the different NFT projects that are rolling out now. But this series is definitely near and dear to me. I co-host the Sandstorm, which is an awesome meetup that takes place inside the Sandbox metaverse every week. And it's such an exciting time in the metaverse because so many big brands are coming into this space. And I just wanted to mention that schedule is being updated to 3 streams per week. Started at 1 every 2 weeks, and now based on the crazy demand, it's reaching over 1 million people a month, which is nuts, first of all, after launching less than 3 months ago. And having to expand the team, having to grow everything has been a wild ride, but it's so worth it. There's so many cool NFT projects that are being released right now with a sandbox plan for the metaverse, and we're bringing them on to go through play to earn gaming, as well as the actual metaverse plots themselves and landowners and things like that. So definitely tune in to the link in the description for Sandstorm. I'm going to be in New York next week for NFT NYC. I'm speaking on a panel with like Deadfellaz and Tom, the creator of Impact Theory and his metaverse project. So really excited for that. Really going to be dropping some knowledge nuggets there. In addition to the panel, I'm doing a press release that is going to be crazy, and a lot of people have been waiting for this news to come out. I'm not going to leak too much here before the event, but definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing that on social media, so follow on Twitter and everything, because that's going to come out early next week while I'm at NFT NYC. Now, on the What's Happening in NFTs series here on the channel, I've done a few episodes in the past, probably 3 or 4 at this point. And what I do is I go through the previous 30 days of the different projects that have come out that really stuck out to me. And also people have DM'd me about, multiple people usually, that kind of spam my DMs and ask me about the project, what I think. And I dive into roadmaps, things like that, and discover more things about the project and decide which ones I want to include in these videos, just to share with everybody what's going on in the space, because it is moving at a breakneck speed. So I like to do these kind of breakdown videos and go over the brief overview and where the floor is at and how many of each of the items are available out there. So usually these PFP projects are 10,000. Jump into the first one here, which is of course CyberKongz. CyberKongz is a huge supporter of Sandstorm. We have an experience being built in the metaverse right now, in partnership with them in the Sandstorm HQ. So super excited for that. Over the last 30 days, it has been up and down, but it looks like on average, we are seeing about a 45% increase, which is pretty fantastic. Last 7 days, it's 162%. But this is definitely one project that has set a new standard for the NFT space as a whole. Looks like in the last 30 days, there's been 13,793 Ethereum transacted for CyberKongz. And this is a project that I mention pretty much every episode here because it is setting the bar high. And I like when people set the bar high. So following CyberKongz is Galactic Apes. Now, over the last 30 days, this has gone up 199% and in volume. And this is 11,134 ETH have been transacted in the last 30 days, which is crazy to think about. And the next one up is Bears Deluxe. I'm a big bear fan and loved the Bears the last 30 days, and it went up 1,833%. The amount of volume is 10,294 ETH transacted, and these guys have rolled out Honey, which is a utility token. Very excited to see that. Similar tokenomics to CyberKongz's Banana. And very cool that they're going to actually have VX bears that can go into the Sandbox metaverse. So looking forward to getting them on the Sandstorm at some point and talking to them more about how they plan on doing that through breeding. Next up, we have MekaVerse. This launched in the last 30 days, and it's done 40,562 Ethereum in volume. Now, an important thing here is that they had hundreds of thousands of people on the wait list. This was a bit of a meme because it pumped really high, really quickly. and Twitter was going nuts. I remember watching the mint go off, and people really lost their shirt on this one pretty quickly. It pumped down. What goes up must come down. And this one, I know that there's a lot of plans in store for it, but it really went high. And now I believe the floor is sitting at 1.18. It's a collection of 8,888 mechas, and it's inspired by Japanese anime. Really interesting. They have 4 factions, and I've watched this pretty closely just to see how low it could get before potentially getting into it, because I'm really interested in what they're working on. Next up, we have Cryptodes with the Vibes by Gremplin. This one has done 29,793 ETH in volume, and that's grown 125% in the last 30 days. This one is a really pretty fascinating cultural one. It has 6,969 small amphibious creatures in the collection and a floor price of 4.42 ETH right now. And that is crazy. Pretty wild to think about. Now, I know that there's even DAOs now starting, like Zombie Toads, where they're literally working together, pooling funds to try and buy more of these cryptodes. In the last 30 days, next up, we have SupDucks. They released the King Frogs collection. I participated in that mint. I believe I covered that on the last What's Happening in NFTs, but that has been really fun to watch. The community, whenever they increase the amount of collections, is always a gamble. And Gutter Cat Gang really proved this out, where they went from cats to rats to now pigeons and dogs. So they've quadrupled the original size, which is super cool to see it successful like that. Many projects have failed trying to increase the amount of collections that they have. And I think that it's really important to note here that with these communities, they are extremely strong before they release a collection. You can't just start spinning up collections right when you get started just to try and money grab. You have to take time to build and grow that community. Now, Doodles is the next one up here. This is a recent release, and the volume here is 13,424 ETH in the last 30 days. And this is a fantastic art project here. I've been following it. It's by Burnt Toast. I follow them on Twitter, and it's such cool artwork. I really have enjoyed all the different pieces, all the different people in the community. I'm in the Discord seeing what's going on, and the current floor price is only 1.45 ETH. Now, they've traded a lot. There's 4,600 owners, and there's a collection of 10,000 of these. So just doing rough math there, this is going to be a long-term project based on the floor price, the amount of holders, and the volume there. You can kind of connect the dots and see that this is a really, really well thought through project. Next up, over the last 30 days, the Neo Tokyo Identities rolled out, and the floor right now is 10.98 ETH. This is a really interesting project where it's like a game coming together and it's decoding the different pieces of it. I really like that way of doing it. And Alex Becker, one of the YouTubers out there that has been in the NFT space for a couple of months now, he has been really interested, and he's the one pushing this. I don't know if he is the founder of this or not, but really cool to watch YouTubers getting involved. And this is a very clever concept. I know Elio Trades is also involved in this. And it's just a smart idea that they can kind of move these different pieces around, and it's decoding a game. And I like that concept. But 10.98 ETH as the floor is pretty fascinating. 1.9K holders, and then 6,600 ETH has been traded in this. So this is more of a high ticket item. Next up, we have the sneaky Bat Syndicate. Now, this is something that I've talked about many times in the past with utility tokens and how CyberKongz really set the new standard. And basically, Cyber Bat Syndicate is a companion NFT to the Sneaky Vampire Syndicate. So you start with a Sneaky Vampire, you can stake that and earn 3 blood tokens per day. And now all the holders were able to mint a bat that is a companion to their vampire. And when you stake a bat, you get 1 blood token per day. And this dropped. I was involved early in the mint. Very cool to see how that went. And it was so seamless, so easy to use. And Wolf came on the Sandstorm, the founder. It was fun to talk to him about the story around it. Volume is only 270 ETH. The amount of holders is 2,800, and the floor price is 0.089. This is definitely a really cool project. I know it's early for them with the bats, but I always like kind of throwing out these early games and early different NFTs for you guys to check out. So those are the ones that I wanted to highlight over the last 30 days that have been really popping off and really interesting to watch how the community has accepted them. But some honorable mentions that I do really always recommend people go and check out themselves, do their own research, is the Groupies. I think that I listened to a Twitter space the other day with BCC over at Kongz, and Peaceful Groupies is doing really cool things in the metaverse, and I really recommend people check them out as well. Sappy Seals. The Seals are a fantastic community. They've been arfing all over our comment section in the Sandstorm. They're also in the Discord, and it's a fantastic community, and I'm excited to work with them in the future on something in the Sandstorm. But the Seals are awesome. Definitely check them out. I love communities like that are grassroots, really growing pretty quickly. Next up, Deadfellaz, honorable mention there. Really wanted to cover them because they are building in the sandbox specifically, and anybody building in the sandbox or the metaverse in general, I want to talk to and be friends with, just because it is super rad to do that right now. And I think that's where the future is moving, obviously, as one of the hosts of the Sandstorm. Next honorable mention is Creature World. I think Shaq had one of these as his icon. There's been a lot of momentum in the community there, and I wanted to bring them up just because between Peaceful Groupies and Creature World, I do think that these are blue chip assets, and I do think that these are going to be ones that are the next kind of top 10 type projects. Now, they've been around for a little while, and in the NFT space, that means a couple of months, not years or anything like that. But definitely do your research on those two. I'm really interested in them. And last but most certainly not least is Cool Cats. I've had quite a lot of people reach out to me about Cool Cats. Current floor is 7.5 ETH. 51,000 ETH has been transacted for Cool Cats. That is just a crazy number to wrap your head around. And that is 4,900 owners with 9,999 images and assets that are randomly generated. So that is it for this episode of What's Happening in NFTs. A lot of momentum, a lot of cool stuff happening in NFT NYC next week, including some really cool Dreamverse stuff from MekaVerse that I'm excited to check out. And also, just NFT and NYC in general is always fun to meet people IRL. So if you are attending, definitely leave a comment. If you do want a chance to link up and get some coffee with not only myself, but other people on the team, definitely shoot me a DM on Twitter. And that is it for this episode. I will see you guys on the next episode of Hack Crypto.